Whoa. Okay. Sorry, my first impression of this is that I'm going through someone's intestines. It's so weird. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half the story we hear. What? Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in a place at the time the thing happened there. And that's a sentence that just happened. And that's the hardest part of taking photography, anyway. Well, I guess, yeah, timing is a kind of everything in certain types of photography, so... Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now I know what you're gonna say, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around. It gets more true? That's not how it works. That's not how the telephone game works. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle fact of experience. No, the story just gets distorted and boosted up for entertainment value. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. That must have been something. You might have heard about that. That must, like, a big owl migration must be so weird, right? I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw a ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect samples his wares. But, okay, if you haven't actually experienced that, you can't say, I've personally experienced that. You've heard about it, okay, but that's not the same as actually being there. Like, you're talking about ghosts and stuff, right? Being told that someone has seen it is not the same thing as seeing it yourself. What? That's a building down there. Isn't it? Yeah, that's a building down there. Gas. That's not the gas station from the beginning of the game, is it? Because it's at the bottom of the ocean. No, okay, it's not at the bottom, it's floating on top, and that's like its reflection. Okay. I was really confused for a moment. Okay, let's see. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, I guess that's where we are, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to the mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I guess that's us. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians who often encountered on the river. The other were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. It's Conway. I keep calling him like Convoy, but it's Conway. Oh, and a smelly old dog. Okay, we need to wash the old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. I get the feeling whatever I choose is what I'm gonna get to explore. Well, so far every gas station I've been to have been not very helpful, and some have been kind of full of assholes who don't want to be there, so I think I'm gonna stay on the boat. He stayed on the boat and looked around at the map room. Act 4, Scene 2. The Mucky Mammoth, again. There he is. Look out. Ezra watches the lake drift by. He sees 7 small mining helmets tethered together with shining rope. What? A floating gas station. A boat covered with grey newts. Isn't that like lizards? Okay. A boat covered in lizards. A cardboard box covered with silver turtles. Get those! They're probably worth a lot. They're silver. Can't we, like, hook the box and take them in? What a relief. Thank you for taking the wheel. Our secret, okay? Oh, did she need to pee? That's something that can happen. How do you know which way to turn? What does this dial mean? What does this lever do? What's in that jug? It smells like eggs and fruit. I don't really care about the jug, to be honest. The lever, the dial. How do you know which way to turn? I just keep my eyes open. That's the most important part. Well, yeah, you need to open your eyes to see where you're going, but how do you know where to turn on a boat in the middle of a lake? Speaking of which... Oh, hey, there's a gas station. I was hoping we'd cross paths soon. It just kind of drifts around. You never know where you'll see it next. You'll never know where you'll meet it. What? It's not tied down? That's weird. As you can see by the dial right here, our fuel situation is pretty desperate. I have a bad habit of letting the needle spend a lot of time in the red zone. That's not good. We need only be docked at the gas station for a few minutes to refuel. You might just want to stay aboard. So, you like boats? I used to watch cartoons about boats. Yeah, my dad had a boat for a while. I've never been on a boat before. Oh, so do I get to decide this part of his past, or... Well, I've seen him watch cartoons, so I think he must have watched cartoons with boats at some point. It was about pirates, or actually it was a submarine. It was about pirates, I guess. They were lost at sea, and they had a friend who was a squid. They were all dogs, dog pirates, and one of them was a parrot. But he just acted like a normal parrot. Yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds great. Thanks. I am good at making plots. I'll have to look out for that one. So what else did I neglect to explain earlier? The area here is called Wheelhouse. Really? All these jogs, gogs, what? All these things and controls help me understand what's going on with the Mucky Mammoth and her hole. This is a compass, but it doesn't work very well down here for some reason. I just go by landmarks, basically, and lights. Okay, now we know how you get around, how you know where to turn. You see, this is the explanation. Landmarks and lights. You see those 2 lights on the side of the boat, a red one and a green one. All the other boats have them too. Some are different colors or in a different configuration. If we cross path with someone right away, I can work out what kind of boat they're in and what direction they're going, even in the dark. That is very cool. It's all about looking up here. It's all about looking up here. The other half of piloting this boat happens down in the map room. Speaking of which, she peers down out the window. Have we passed a big rock that looks like a dinosaur yet? No, but we passed by a small island with a bunch of ducks. We passed by a tall building covered in Christmas lights. No, that wouldn't... I'm pretty sure it would have noticed that, right? Because it would have been all colored and stuff. We passed by a huge cliff with a bunch of word painted on it. I don't remember seeing any of these on the map, but then again I wasn't paying that much attention when I'm reading text and stuff. I guess we went by a cliff with a bunch of words on it, or the ducks maybe? The ducks. Oh yeah, Duck Island. It's named after a nasty old hermit called Edgar Duck, who put a claim on it many years ago and tried to build a house there. I heard he didn't have a bed or kitchen, but used all of the material on a big fence he used to blast an air horn if anyone drifted too close. That doesn't sound like a good living situation. He eventually died, but the name stuck, and at some point the ducks moved in. Maybe people drummed them off there. I don't know. People just brought ducks over to Duck Island. They were like, Duck Island without ducks on it? That doesn't work. Let's buy some ducks and bring them over. That's weird. We should have definitely passed the dinosaur rock by now. She looks at the window. Oh wait, there it is, up ahead. See? That doesn't look like a dinosaur. Whoa, that's my new favorite rock. I don't see it, so I don't know, but let's say that it looks like a dinosaur. It's great, isn't it? What was your old favorite rock? A big rock in the wood behind my house. I mean, really, really big. A little rock I found that looked like a rainbow when you held it in the sunlight. A rock my aunt got in the mail from Arizona. It was bright green and she said it had a good energy. I guess a kid would like a really, really big rock. Cool. It's strange though. According to my chart, we should have passed Dinosaur Rock before Duck Island, but that's okay. Sometimes the chart needs updating. Sounds to me like you're going in the wrong direction. Hey, Will is down in the map room right now. Could you run down and help him adjust the chart to move Duck Island so it comes a little earlier on the route and doesn't... Okay, we're gonna change the chart because islands move apparently. The map room is down below the deck on the lower level, right next to the sleeping quarters. I'll get on the intercom and let him know you're coming. Okay. That's a nice younger dog, I guess. I can record this. Okay, this zooming in is kind of unsettling. Is the dog gonna bark? Gonna drink a bit of water. Shh. I drank water. Yo, I thought you said you were gonna warn him. You said you'd get on the intercom and tell him I was coming down. What is that? I think I'm hearing a heartbeat. Kind of strange. I thought I might be able to get a dog bark, but I guess not. I don't know how long I should wait before I give up. He did say not to be stingy with the tape, that there was a ton of tape in there. So that seemed to be an indication to record for a while. But like, how long do I wait before I give up? I don't know. Well, I think that's plenty of recording. Basically nothing. I like his suit. Oh, the cat is gone. Conway. You're more and more robot-like. Hey, hey, hey. Or is that like, hey? What's up? Quick below deck to see the map. It looked like you're about to fall asleep. Oh no, look at the table. Look at all the beer cans. Oh, Conway. It looked like you're gonna fall asleep. Nah, I don't think I could ever sleep on a river. You're right though, it's been a long day. I should maybe find some coffee to go with all this beer. Or just move on up to the real stuff. Doesn't weigh you down as much, you know? Nah, of course you don't. Don't tell that to a kid. Hey, what am I talking about? Who knows? You're talking about your addiction. Okay, bye. You're self-destructing. It's not nice to watch. Poor Conway. Is this not how you get there? Oh, okay, there. Okay. Why is she shaking? Oh, it's one of those things, those I don't know what they're called, but like you move your hand close to some kind of like a tube or something. It's like an antenna, and like there's electricity going between things, and you move your hand close to that and it makes noise. I think that's what it is. I just don't know the word for it. There's a cat just watching like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, and there's hermit crabs walking around down there. Let's watch. Whoa, this is harder than it looks. Yeah, it takes a certain kind of ear. Oh, like perfect pitch. Do you have that? Nah, not really. It's more like muscle memory. When I'm playing the theremin, though, it's a theremin, I kind of hear with my hands. I must sound ridiculous. Well, no, not really. The more you do it, the more you get used to it, I think. The more you learn where to put your hands. No, I think I get it. It's such a weird sound. I'm gonna go over to the map room. Hello, Will. There's TVs over there. Salutations, small man. Kate says you have an adjustment for our chart. Good timing. I'm just checking my copies. That's how we keep our chart up to date. As we pass through a section of the river or the lake, I draw a new copy of the map and make adjustments for anything we see that doesn't match. He points at a small drawing on the map. So this is where we have dinosaur marked now. Dinosaur rock, I'm sorry. This little dinosaur drawing, I drew that. Cool claws. What kind of dinosaur is it? Well, it's like it's made up. It's not a real dinosaur. It's a stone that somehow resembles a dinosaur. So cool claws. Thank you. Will points to another small drawing on the map. And this here is where we thought Duck Island was. But now I guess we've got to move it back a bit. But how far back, I wonder? Any ideas? Anything else you remember about when you saw Duck Island? The water got really dark. There was another boat we passed around Duck Island, a sailboat with a painting of a fish. I saw the clock. We passed it 6 minutes before Dinosaur Rock. Does the clock work on this crazy river though? The water got really dark. Well, it's already pitch black, isn't it? I saw the clock. That'll do just fine. So let's see. At our current speed, that would give us a distance of, about an 1/8 of a mile, let's say. And he fixes the chart. Somewhere around here. Good enough, huh? That should do it for the new copy. Oh, I made some other corrections. Tucked in the banks a little, made the section deeper, and left off a shipwreck that must have washed away or been scavenged into splinters, okay? She's getting good at that. Of course, it means a lot of clutter, all these old copies. Say, he gestures at the old maps. I was just about to throw them a stack out in the middle of the water. Don't do that. Maybe you'd like to hang on to one. They're out of date, but they could be fun to look at. These are mostly river charts, I think. Take a look through and see if any of them catch your eye. I don't have anywhere to put it. Just take a map. Examine a faded old map, a crisp, clean map, a rough, torn map. Huh. That's so interesting choice. A faded old map will most likely be very out of date. A crisp, clean map will very likely be more in date. And a rough, torn map, I'm not sure what that refers to. Maybe it's a treasure map. Let's take that. Here, turn it around, like, there you go. There's no real idea of north down here, magnetic or otherwise, so we just hold the map with the current position down. With the current pointing down, okay. Well, I guess that's a good way to keep yourself oriented. If the water only flows in one direction, so long as you have the current the right way on the map, you should know where you're going. The edge of the map are torn in gentle strips, probably by the idle hand of an absent mind. Aw, it's not a treasure map. Oh yeah, I remember that day. Slow currents. Boring. Not that I mind. It's healthy to get a little bored sometimes. Indeed. When you get bored, your brain can clean some stuff out and make room for new ideas. A long tear runs in a clockwise curve along the paper through the middle of the river. Huh. The two sides are held together with a paperclip, woven into the paper like stitches. Huh. I guess they didn't have any scotch tape. They didn't have sticky tape on board. Examine the faded map, the clean map. Take the torn map. Oh, I can examine all of them, okay. The clean map. That one I found wrapped in plastic, quite well preserved. I wrapped it up like that so the chalk wouldn't smear. Must have lost my pencil that day. I don't remember. The river curves clockwise. There are no islands marked, but a few other landmarks are indicated with chalk. Pointing to a chalk circle, that one was Duck Island, I'm pretty sure. Let's examine each of them before we choose one. The river turns clockwise around a few small islands. A note is scribbled along the margin. Islands just below the surface, only visible under bright light. They come and go, the islands that is. I still mark them if I see them. Okay, so they're not really islands then. They rise and lower, or maybe the current, like maybe the water level goes up and down. Okay, let's see. The old map has an interesting information on it. That islands can appear just below the surface. They can sink and rise. But now that I know that information, do I really need the map to remind me? I mean, I know my memory tends to be bad, but the characters should remember it. The Chris Clean map was drawn in chalk because he lost his pencil. There wasn't much on it. I think the best one is probably the torn map. It seems to have the most story to it. But I'll take that. Nice. Well, thank you for helping the chart adjustment. Our new stop is the bar called the Rum Colony. Oh, it's a bar. Okay. I guess you're not much of a barfly, but you might like to run around on the beach. And the decor is, well, I'd be curious to hear what you think of it. Sure.